Is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. And in addition to being less stressful, me and Toast were just talking about, would you rather have a loss? Would you rather your team just get blown out, or would you rather like lose a heartbreaker at the end? And at least when you're just completely on the wrong side, right? And you lose by like 30 points, you know, you have an answer. Like, okay, I was on the wrong side. When some of those games, they came down to the end, it's like, well, shit, was I even wrong? Or like, did I get unlucky? Or there's a little more, at least you have a definitive answer. Like, okay, I handicapped that game wrong. It was the wrong side. Some of those, dude, in the NFL especially, when a lot of those games come down to like the last, like literally like a possession at the end of the game where it's like, well, shit, was I even wrong? Like, so I do get what you're saying, how sometimes it's better to just get beat by 30 points.
And I think that partly, I mean, obviously recency bias is always going to get you. And it feels like in my cold streak, I have a whole bunch of those where I have 4.5, they lose by 5, up by 10 at half, they lose, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, it gets frustrating at times, like I said. So it is what it is. I won tonight. All is good.
Toast is green tonight. You love this.
I've been green.
I got my
I've been
teeth
secretly green for a couple of days. It's been tiny greens, but they are green. Tonight's a big green. Shout out to UConn Huskies taking care of those fake ass team from Creighton, those bums.
Yeah, before we get into it, Trev, did you happen to catch the Connecticut game?
Yeah, it was another L, just like everything else tonight. So,
do you have a bad one?
Too shocked. Oh, I got my teeth kicked in hard.
Oh shit! Sorry to hear that.
It was like
I didn't realize.
11.
I've been there, brother. I wasn't trying to rub it in.
I didn't know that.
You're good. You're good. You're good. No. You're good.
As far as my bets, I have 6 bets. I'm 3-2 right now. If I get Santa Clara, it'll be 4-2 plus 9.5. If I don't get Santa Clara, it'll be 3-3. So the floor for me is
in Santa Clara, it's kind of, they ruled out 2 guys. It's kind of one of those line balloon to like 12 before tip. So it's just one of those situations or whatever.
To be honest, didn't even realize that happened.
I know. That's why I wanted to mention it.
All right. So a lot more college basketball tomorrow. Not quite as loaded as today, but there's some good games. And also, I sent you guys the list, but I threw some bad games in there. So like completely cool if you guys are like, fuck that, I don't want to talk about this game. Completely understandable. Obviously, we want to talk about this one. And this is tough because obviously – and I feel like this has been the case for every St. John's game, the whole world's going to be betting St. John's here at this short number. Villanova is tougher at home. They play defense. I mean, I don't think I have the stones to take Villanova, but just know if one of you guys are about to take Nova here, I respect you. I'll say that.
I'm going to wait and see if I can get like a 4. It's up to 3 at Caesars right now. Maybe a couple other books I haven't really checked around. But I do think this is kind of a possible flat spot for St. John's. I've been kind of labeled as a little bit of a St. John's hater. I've been pumping the brakes a little bit because Rick Pitino is like my favorite coach of all time. This isn't me like just hating on St. John's.
And I thought entering the season you were big on St. John's too.
I know, but I don't like how they've played and how they started to play. And then the shooting really bothered me. But defensively, this team is absolutely insane. And I wish I had I could give credit to whoever pointed it out, but on Twitter, somebody made a mention about this St. John's team versus the Louisville team that Pitino took to the championship game. And they're like so similar. It's not even funny when you look at KenPom and stuff like that. So again, I'm just trying to let everybody know that I've pumped the brakes on the St. John's hate. That being said, they do have Creighton on deck, which is a big game. We have Creighton, as we know now, coming off of a loss. And this Villanova team that likes to play slow, which is the exact opposite of what St. John's wants to do. So if they can figure out how to play their game at home, it should force St. John's to be in an uncomfortable situation as far as playing at that pace is concerned. On top of that, like I just mentioned about the St. John's shooting, you have a game that's under 140 in the total. That's probably going to end up being bet down, I would assume. And you're getting a a number 2.5 under a full possession, and you have Villanova, the best, if not the if not the best free throw shooting team in the country, versus St. John's, one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country. So there's a lot of ways to get to Villanova here, as far as I'm concerned. I think you hit the nail on the head though when you said, "Do you have that stones to actually bet it?" I don't know, but I do lean Villanova. You can put Villanova up for me.
I love it. Trev, before you go, let me just read off some comments. Juice, St. John's. Scurry, St. John's and under. TWD, St. John's. And then he put a Villanova betters with a bunch of laughing emojis. Heem, St. John's. So everyone in the comments is on St. John's. We're polling over 70% St. John's. What are your thoughts, Trev? You have the stones.
Yeah, I kind of like Villanova. I don't know if I'm gun shy or if I'm just trying to be smart here and not take it, but man, Villanova, like you're laying points on the road now with St. John's when they shoot 67% from the free throw line. So it's going to be tough to, if it's a tight game, pull away at the end and do that. Everyone's betting it up. Everybody is high on St. John's. After that UConn game, they pulled it out. Everyone's really high on them now that they're going to lay points to Villanova, but they have Creighton on deck. Creighton is the one team that's beaten them so far this year too. They have to, it will be home, so they'll end this road little 2-game stretch heading back home. But I'm with Toast here. I like Nova. It's just a matter of actually getting there with them. But it is climbing up. I mean, I see a 3.5 juiced right now, so I was tempted to fire on that, but I have not yet. So we'll see where this gets to. I mean, if it gets below 3, I won't bet Nova. But if it's in 3.5, 4 tomorrow, I'll probably pull the trigger.
One other point that I forgot to mention too, as far as scheduling spots. St. John's, this is gonna be the first time they've played back-to-back road games this year as well. So again, not that puts too much into it, but that is a little bit of something to me, especially when you add on the fact that they have Creighton on deck.
I'm putting Villanova up too. I don't think I have the stones to do it though. But yeah, I mean, the entire planet will be taking St. John's here.
Yeah.
Someone in the comments was asking if we engage in BDSM.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
It's like bondage, domination, master, slave. All right, Big Ten up next.
We're off the rails at game 2.
I was just reading a comment that Iowa on the road in Piscataway here to play Rutgers. No, this can't be Rutgers -6. I had to have typed that wrong.
No, you're right.
No, you're right.
Rutgers is laying?
I mean,
There's no way. I'm checking that before I put the poll up. There's no way.
This is
someone's high over at the book again.
No, they're actually it's 6.5. Yeah, it's 6.5 now. So
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
So, I don't know, Trevor. If you have a strong lead on this game, go ahead. I would love to bet Rutgers here at like a pick'em or something like that, but there's no way in hell I'm laying multiple possessions with Rutgers. I know that Iowa's looked pretty bad, and they're dealing with what's his face being injured and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know if I can see them replicating a whole bunch of wins. I mean, they have a couple wins of multiple possessions at the rack so far against UCLA and Illinois, but I don't know, man. I don't know how you think about it, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm on Rutgers. Iowa doesn't play any defense whatsoever. Now you're going to head to the rack where Rutgers, they've sacrificed their defense for offense this year. So you could argue the fact that, Iowa will be able to hang in too, and maybe the over is not a bad look, but a 162 total in a Big Ten game is fucking crazy.
I know.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before in my life, but I will take Rutgers. Ace Bailey, I believe, was sick last game or something. He only had 4 points, but he played 24 minutes. But regardless, I mean, Dylan Harper, if he plays, he'll be able to take over the game at any point. Like I said, Iowa no defense. So I think the rack gets up. I think Rutgers pounds them, and I think Iowa's just kind of mailed it in for the season. I mean, Fran knows he's gone. They've lost their big man to injuries. They've got couple injuries.
Is his name Freeman?
Fran McCaffrey.
Oh, someone's saying Freeman is hurt for Iowa in the comments.
Yeah, that's their big
Owen
man,
Freeman. Owen Freeman. Yeah. Fran's going to Butler next year, so I think he's just mentally checked out.
Oh my
dude, his kids are there. He's going to Butler. He's going to groom his kid to be a head coach and then walk away after 2-3 years.
Toast, I guess What are you leaning towards here? This is disgusting.
There's no way I can play Iowa. I mean, it's that. I think that Rutgers is probably a really decent money line piece. You can put up Rutgers for me, but I would assume if this line gets to like 7.5, there's probably a good indication that it's on Rutgers because Rutgers is going to win this basketball game. But the only thing that I worry about is that Rutgers offense that can be really sputtery at times. And if Iowa is shooting the ball good, it doesn't really matter what Rutgers is doing. So that's the only thing that holds me off.
Just so for those of you playing the home game, the Suns have now cut it to 6. Just saying. I didn't bet the Suns, but I got a lot of heat for picking them on the show.
What do you have them at?
I didn't. I had +4.5 was on the show.
Okay,
I didn't actually bet it.
Sorry, yeah.
But we had like a long debate on it on the show. So like I'm getting clowned in comments because they were down big before. It's now a 4-point game, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we had to just take a quick glance at the IU Indy game. Just Hardwood Ball Club. How do you lay to IU Indy at home here?
Well, not only that, it's kind of Trevor. Do you agree that 4.5 is suspiciously low? Even 5 when it opened or whatever the number was, that's kind of suspiciously low for an Oakland team that's I would consider much better than IU Indy, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, maybe just much better. I don't know about much better.
I mean, over 110 spots in KenPom. I mean, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, I mean, it is a revenge spot for IU Indy, and Oakland's got to head into the jungle now, so this could be a tough spot for them. But
wait,
Oakland also
is IU Indy's home floor really called the jungle?
Yeah, because they're the Jaguars. They're jagging off there in the jungle all the time. So I like IU Indy here.
Yeah,
I think all 3 of us liked it on our show too. I think we might just bet it, but it's a revenge spot, and Oakland's got Detroit Mercy on deck. Now I know that's not LSU, Alabama or anything, but they're still like, I believe they're in the same city. If not, they're within like 20-30 minutes of each other. So it's a rivalry spot, rivalry game. So I will probably be on IU Indy tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. And it's a sandwiched road spot between their 2 home losses, head to IU Indy, and then they got Detroit Mercy.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the 5 just right now.
IU Indy. Let's do it.
5 on Caesars.
Let's go to the next one. Next one is another banger here. Purdue Fort Wayne on the road at Youngstown State. Last time I watched a Youngstown State home game, they came back on $2 beer night. Won on, remember that 3 toast that they hit from the side?
Yeah, but that's not true. You watched IU Indy smoke them too, right after that.
That was at Youngstown State?
Yeah.
Wow, dude, I've been watching a lot of Youngstown State basketball.
I was going to say, you've watched a lot of Youngstown basketball, more than you know.
So look, guys, I'm kind of an expert when it comes to Youngstown State ball. Don't get me started on this Penguins team. No, I don't know shit. I have watched 2 of their games recently. What conference is this even?
The Horizon.
All right, so maybe I invest in some Horizon tournament bets in next month. Because this is my first experience.
Horizon League is always a fun tournament. It's always a fun tournament.
So Youngstown State, short home dog here, +1.5. Purdue Fort Wayne on the road. What do you guys like?
I'll let Trevor go first. I want to take Youngstown just because they are at home catching points, and this is a really big game as far as the Horizon's concerned. If they were to win this, Youngstown would win this game, they would probably jump into second, I think, as far as the standings are concerned, obviously with multiple games to play, but getting the home team with points in a really good spot. I lean Youngstown State, but like I said, I haven't betted or anything.
Trev?
Yeah, I'm with him. I kind of like Youngstown here. Not a lot. I mean, Youngstown at home hasn't been great, but Youngstown shoots free throws well. They don't turn it over. They struggle from the 3, which could be a problem, but this line does just feel a little weird. I mean, Fort Wayne has been the easy number 2 in this conference all year, and now they're going to hit the road and only lay like a possession, a bucket, so it's kind of a weird spot. I would lean Penguins in the whatever the hell this arena is called, I forget, but
the Beagley Center.
The Beagley Center, thank you. Yeah, I would lean Youngstown in the Igloo. Oh, the Igloo, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
The Igloo, yeah.
I'm putting up I'm siding with Juice here. He's on the Mastodons. I'm doing it for I'm not betting this.
And Youngstown State actually has been playing pretty well. That IU Indy loss looked bad, but keep in mind that was after the $2 beer night thing. They came back all the way back. That was an easy letdown spot. But going on the road and beating Oakland pretty easily, and then destroying Detroit Mercy, this team's playing pretty decent right now.
South Carolina just got smoked at home in their last one, right? Who was that from?
I don't think they got smoked at home.
I'm pretty sure they were catching
like.
No, I'm pretty sure they got smoked at home. They were catching a number like this, and you guys.
No, they were at Kentucky.
No,
yeah.
Well, they got smoked, but they lost by 4 at home to Texas A&M, but they didn't get smoked.
Oh, they covered that against A&M.
Yeah.
I think they've covered every home game this year.
Yeah, they must have been down big because I thought I remember Texas A&M beating them up in that game. I don't know. Ole Miss is pretty good. It's kind of tough to lay 5 to a team that, like you said, just keeps covering at home. I guess I'd lean South Carolina.
Trevor, you can go first. I don't know if I'm really, really conflicted here just because of how good South Carolina has been at home. But this is Mississippi needs this game. So I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that they need it, but back-to-back road games, they do have the Egg Bowl on the hardwood next against Mississippi State at home. So little road game here. South Carolina, I mean, at home.
He just freeze.
Other than Alabama, 3-point loss to Auburn. I think I did.
No. I still hear you. You're choppy a little bit, but I hear you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe not.
Well, now you're not.
Now you're no longer.
That was just bad timing.
Toast, sounded like you were leaning towards Ole Miss.
I don't know if I actually bet it there. It's just Ole Miss is obviously one of these teams that's not even probably a bubble team or anything, but I mean, this is kind of a big game for them. If they were to go up to 8-4 in the conference, that puts them in the Florida Texas A&M game or Texas A&M range. Florida won tonight, so they're going to have another win. But Ole Miss has played really well their last 4 or 5 games, and take away the Missouri game. So their last 4 games, they've played really well. That only lost the game that we watched together against Auburn, and we can both agree that they didn't play bad that game.
Yeah,
they just lost to the best team in the country, and that is what it is. So I definitely lean Mississippi or Ole Miss, whatever you want to call them. My issue is that they haven't really been fantastic on the road. They had that really big win against Alabama on the road earlier this season, and then they went out and they lost to Mississippi State, they lost to Missouri, and then they only beat LSU by 2. So on the road, they haven't really been as dominant. Again, it's just really hard for me to lay multiple possessions with them, but I definitely lean their way.
All right, we got Trevor back. Trev, in case you missed it, Toast says he leans towards Ole Miss, but he doesn't think he can pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, I mean, I like South Carolina here. Just a home spot. You know, they've got nothing to lose. So I mean, I think they're going to go all out. I mean, they got Florida on deck. They know they're not winning that game, obviously. But you know, Ole Miss look ahead spot. South Carolina feisty at home. I think they could potentially get this game tomorrow. I don't think they're going to go winless in the conference. So I think tomorrow or the what other spot? Maybe Texas would be their only 2 chances to really get a W here in the conference play. So don't hate South Carolina tomorrow, but I don't know if I will actually be betting it.
Yeah, I'm putting South Carolina up for me, but I don't know if I found it particularly intriguing. Next game is Oklahoma State TCU. This is an ugly one. Any thoughts on this one, or we want to just skip? This is about as low end as you can get in the Big 12.
It's low end. And Oklahoma State's been kind of, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like they're really, really, they can look really decent at times and really bad at times.
Didn't they play Auburn tough?
No, they played Houston really tough.
Yeah.
Like, what was that?
A week
ago, or something like that. I knew what you meant though. But yeah, I mean, they beat Utah. I mean, those last 3 games, and their only loss was at Houston. And then before that, losing to Kansas State in the Octagon of Doom, not going to happen. I'm not going to win that game. You're not going to beat Arizona at home or on the road, and you're not going to beat Texas Tech on the road. So, and then the other 2 losses also on the road were the BYU and Utah, both in the mountains. So again, the games that Oklahoma State should be in and should play well against, they've done well. The games that they shouldn't against the upper echelon teams, they get absolutely throttled. So I lean OK State. it's just really hard for me to lay multiple possessions with TCU in general. But yeah, I definitely lean Oklahoma State here.
Yeah, I don't really get this line. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't make sense. I feel like I'm missing something.
If you look at Oklahoma State's recent body of work, a nice win over Arizona State. They went into Houston, played them to one possession on the road at Houston. I mean,
this is a spreadsheet one that is like screaming me to bet OSU like I'm missing something.
Yeah, and they beat Utah before. I mean, then they had a real ugly looking loss to Kansas State, but it's starting to. That doesn't look looking back. That doesn't look that bad anymore.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah,
right
Kansas
now.
State's beating the shit out of everyone. So yeah, why don't we bet this Oklahoma State?
I'm waiting to hear what Trevor has to say before I press the button. To be honest, because I just want to make sure I wasn't missing something.
I honestly don't know either. Why this is 5. TCU is terrible. TCU did lay 5 against Colorado at home. And then, it was Colorado. And they won by 11. So, I mean, like, it's a weird number. I get it. But TCU is not good. Like, they just got housed by Iowa State. So maybe they get back up after getting embarrassed a little bit. But Oklahoma State's been playing well. I mean, that Arizona State game, there was a caveat. They were missing 2 guards. So Hurley's kid had to play, and I don't think he's played all year other than, like, garbage time when they were up on fucking Green Bay or whoever the hell they played. So, I mean, it would be Oklahoma State or nothing for me. I would not like laying points with TCU whatsoever.
As far as the comments, S. Fox is on Oklahoma State. He's taking the money line. Heem says he likes Oklahoma State, likes it at +7. No one really likes this game, actually.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Let's move on to the next one. TWD says +6 and over. Next up, Louisville on the road at NC State.
Curry, are you seeing that San Diego State's getting absolutely waxed?
Yeah, and San Jose doesn't have their 2
yeah, dude, like,
scores.
what the frick is going on?
Dude, Colorado State's getting housed too. That's an L. Oh, well, good for you. I'm on Colorado State.
I have them in a moneyline
dead.
parlay.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, if they could somehow lose this game by 5, that'd be sick. But that ain't happening.
True or false? Louisville is still overpriced here at 7.5.
That's in this situation true. I say.
I think they're gonna beat the shit out of them.
NC State.
No, I think Louisville's going to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, I lean Louisville. I thought the number was kind of small in general. NC State's bad, and they're coming off of their California road trip where they actually played well against California, ended up losing that game, and then took Stanford to the wire, and then lost that game as well. Now they're going to fly all the way back home and play a Louisville team that's kind of been shaky their last couple games, but sooner or later I feel like they're going to get right. And on the road, they've been pretty damn good, except for the Georgia Tech game. All the other games they're winning by double digits. So I think that if Louisville wins this game, which I think that we will, they'll probably win by double digits. So I haven't bet Louisville, but that's the only way I would look at it.
Trev, you agree?
I kind of like NC State. I get it's a weird travel spot, but NC State at home has been, not too bad. They lost by 10 to Clemson, 6 to SMU, 3 to Cal. UNC was a 2-point game. They did beat Notre Dame at home. So, I mean, like, at home, they're better, but I don't want any part of this game, personally.
Let's move on to the next one, which is Florida State Wake. Ah, man. Dude, Wake sucks. I don't care if they're winning
I
games.
know. I was just about to say Seminole the F up. Like,
yeah, but they suck too, dude.
I know, but this line continues to go down. I want Florida State +7.5.
Wow.
Give me
all. He says it like with like puffing his chest out. He likes it,
dude. Again, Wake sucks.
I agree with you, but Florida State.
Yo, I don't care. If Wake can come here after their West Coast road trip, where they had a couple Fugazi wins, if you ask me, and travel all the way back home and beat this Florida State team, so be it. But Florida State does present some problems to them. They're really, really big, so I don't think that Wake's going to be able to rebound very well. Florida State should be able to slow this game down a little bit and play through their defense. Both these teams are pretty damn good defensively. I expect a very low-scoring game here. I think both defenses play well. I think the Wake Forest offense struggles, especially coming back from the West Coast. And Florida State keeps this game close. I don't think Florida State's going to win this game, but I have a hard time believing Wake Forest wins by 8 or more. So, yeah, I'm definitely on Florida State. I've already bet it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the side I'd be on as well. I was a little more shocked at the confidence at which you spoke it. But yeah, I'm down to bet. I'm down to bet this with you too. Maybe even a Knowles money line. Wake sucks, but I mean, Florida State is bad. Trev, sweeping with the Knowles.
Yeah, added up for me too. I like this. I mean, once Hamilton announced he was out, they went and they got a home dub over Notre Dame. Good win. Now you got Wake off the travel spot, and then like Toast said, they got the major size advantage. They have somebody who can bang down low with Efton Reed, and they have athletes that can keep up with Salas and Hildreth too. So, not to mention everybody on this team's like 6'7", 6'9", 6'5", 6'7", 6'11". Like they have size all over the place. It's just what Leonard Hamilton does at Florida State. So I think they'll make it a little tough. Wake's offense, I hate. I despise them. And they've covered the last like 2 or something. So 3 maybe. So they're due for a rough one here. I think Florida State could potentially upset them.
Go ahead.
With their defense and their size. I mean, I know they aren't pretty on paper, but they do present a pretty rough matchup for Wake Forest here.
I agree, and I don't know too much about the teams, but I agree in a sense that I'm going to tail. And a lot of people in the comments have opinions about this game. Sheed says Florida State or pass. Van Summers says take Florida State in a mid-off. Like me says Knowles. TWD's on the under. Heem's on Wake. Desmond Castro on the under. There's so many people that send in picks for this game. This is like the most popular game.
One pick I think that you might like, Kyle, is Wake Forest team total under 75.5. Let's just go through their last few games. Going back to January 18th, 72, 67, 56, 72, 76, 79, 76. There ain't no way in hell this team's scoring 76 tomorrow. That's another bet.
Juice,
I like that angle.
Juice is on the under, but he also said Toast intrigued him. He's taking Florida State. Same thing with Tinker. He says chop chop. I find Toast compelling. I'm on Florida State.
I love it. Let's go, baby.
So yeah, you love it now until the comments come back tomorrow night and tell you you're a piece of shit for that pick.
Yeah, because that's never happened before.
Stanford.
Hey, did you see what San Diego State's done out of half?
I heard they're getting smoked.
No, I haven't looked.
Cool 17-0 run to tie the game.
No way. People were complaining about that game.
I stared at it. I was like, how do I not bet San Diego State at halftime here? Like, you could have got them +7. Now it's tie game.
I know. I was
less than
too
5
busy
minutes.
trying to prep for this show. I should have bet that too.
Stanford, Georgia Tech. Wait. Georgia
No,
Tech?
this isn't a typo either.
Georgia Tech's laying?
Yep. And you got to take it.
I thought Georgia Tech was trash.
Yeah, they are. So I think somebody's got to be out with an injury tomorrow. Renault or somebody's got to be out with an injury or sickness.
And Stanford has Duke on deck at Cameron.
Yep.
I mean,
like their biggest.
Do they expect to go into Duke and win?
No, but you're Stanford. You don't ever get to go play in there. This is by far their biggest game on their schedule. And it's not even close.
So I mean,
Georgia Tech.
You take
laid
Georgia Tech
points. They laid against Boston College and Notre Dame. They covered those in conference here also. Otherwise, they haven't laid points since January 4th.
Yeah, I'm playing money line. I think 125 is what it was. But this line, I agree with Trevor. This line tells you everything that you need to know about this line or about this game. So, yeah, I played money line at, I think, 125.
Trev, you're at Georgia Tech as well.
Yep. I had to grab 2 because I don't have fucking money lines available till the morning.
Keep in mind as well, Georgia Tech has beaten Louisville and Clemson 2 of their last 3 games. They lost to Virginia in a little bit of a letdown spot on the road after a 3 overtime game. But it's not like Georgia Tech's playing bad basketball right now.
Yeah.
And the Suns, he missed. Never mind. It's a 5-point game with 2 minutes left. I'm not betting Georgia Tech. You guys
do it.
Do it.
It sounds good when you're taking it. Like, it's a sketchy line, you take it. But you forget about the instances where you take a sketchy line and it's wrong, and you're sitting there like, what the fuck was I doing? No. I don't like
You're thinking too much.
Not
Yeah.
not tonight.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. St. Bonnie's plus 2.5 on the road at Rhode Island. For some reason, I knew you guys were going to want to talk about this game.
Of course.
And actually, someone was in the comments asking for this game. So Rhode Island, I believe, is the cream of the crop here in this conference. Am I wrong?
No.
I thought they were in first place.
No. They were, I think, after the first game of this conference season.
They definitely are in first or second place in that
No,
conference.
they're not. They're like in the bottom.
They're 4 and
Dude,
7.
watch this. I'm pulling it up.
I know for a fact they're at the bottom.
What the fuck? Are there 2 Rhode Islands?
No.
No. Are
They
you
were
thinking
really
of after
good
they
to
beat
start the
Providence
year.
or something?
Nah, I'm a
They
fan.
you probably the last time you probably checked up on Rhode Island, they had probably
Dude, I was just looking at it.
just beat George Mason, and you were feeling really good about yourself.
No, dude, hold on. I'm gonna find the team up. What do you guys think about this game?
Go ahead, Trev.
I like Rhode Island. I mean, Bonnies have not been not been really good lately. This is also, I believe, different game I'm thinking of. Not a revenge spot, but Rhode Island's at home after back-to-back road losses. They just got 15-pieced by George Mason. So I think they come out and play. I mean, Bonnie's hitting the road again. On the road, they have not been sharp. Their last road win was Fordham, January 4th. Otherwise, they beat Siena and Bucknell on the road, along with Florida Gulf Coast and Canisius. So the road wins are not that impressive. They are 0-4 in conference play on the road. 1-4, sorry. So not sharp. Rhode Island, back-to-back road spots coming home. Bonnie's off the George Washington game. I think it's just a flat spot, and I think Rhode Island ends up getting them here. And everybody loves betting the Bonnies because they were so successful in ATS-wise start the season. But since then, I think they're like 3-9 ATS or something because they started like 12-0. So people are going to see them catching points and be all over it. But I think it's Rhode Island here.
Well, we do have a couple people in the comments taking the Bonnies. Grebenz is on Rhode Island. Desmond Castro says St. Bonnie's on a hunch. St. Bonnie's on a hunch. We love drugs, says Rhode Island sucks. Toast likes the Bonnies. I don't know if he's betting them. I know he likes the Bonnies.
I've always liked the Bonnie. I don't lean their way though. I would lean Rhode Island here. I'm not. No way I'm betting it. Don't want to lay points with Rhode Island, but as Trevor mentioned, St. Bonaventure just so bad on the road. And honestly, their 2 wins over they're 3-7 their last 10, I think it is. And 2 of the wins, one of them was a blowout win against Dayton, which seems to be just more of a fluke than anything, because then their other wins was a decent win against Richmond and then a 2-point win against Fordham. And Fordham's absolutely terrible. So it's just really hard to get there with the Bonnies for me, especially on the road.
Who are the Rams? Which team is the Rams?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Okay, so a couple people on. So Juice is on Rhode Island. None Like Me's on Rhode Island. Yeah, so a lot of people like Rhode Island, even though we're polling St. Bonaventure. I might be down to bet Rhode Island with you guys. Don't hate it.
I got it circled. I haven't fired yet.
This one might be a skip. VCU laying 9.5 on the road at George Washington.
Man, I don't know. Trevor can go. I lean George Washington. VCU. I know VCU is really good, but they're off a really big win against Dayton. They got. I mean, not that the UMass game is anything special, but I don't know. I just think that this is a lot of points. So I'm not going to end up betting it, but I lean George Washington personally.
I like VCU here. I'm actually going to bet this also. The Ken Palm's got the 7. It's opened up at 9.5 too. So they gave you a full bucket of possession at least here, or bucket of value. Christ, for Washington and G-Dub, their offense is not great. They do play great defense, but they can't score. VCU plays great defense and they can score. So I like VCU here. I think everyone's going to be kind of banking on a little bit of a letdown spot after that, but VCU is just class of this conference, and I don't see them slipping up. They haven't had any really slip up games. I know they lost at St. Louis, but that was just an outlier game. I mean, St. Louis is terrible already, so it was just a weird one. But laying 9.5, it's telling you what's going to happen. It's VCU by like 15 tomorrow. VCU does relatively normally just fuck up teams on the road also in conference play.
comments disagree with you, Trev. Juice is on George Washington. S Fox says G-Dub money line. Never mind, Trevor. You do have someone on your side. Eric Shipley says George Washington betters with like 20 laughing emojis. I guarantee you, Shipley does not know either of those teams.
The Colonials and the Rams.
Bob Morris on the road.
Bob Morris
on the road at Cleveland State. The reason I said Bob Morris is I heard them call it Bob Morris on the Pump Fake show once, and I've since adopted it. So Robert Morris is on the road to Cleveland State. Cleveland State, who is in first place in the conference, is laying 3.5 points at home. Seems a little short for the conference leader.
How do you know that?
Because when I was looking for Rhode Island, I happened to pass that one.
I was like, what? How did you know that?
Because I just saw it seconds ago. Cleveland State here, right? This is a Viking spot.
Go ahead, Trev. This was really hard for me. I think it's kind of a toss-up. I think both these teams are very similar, so it's really hard for me. Both of these teams have been playing really well over the last month or so. So, I lean Cleveland State, but I have nothing behind it.
I like Bob Morris on this one. Revenge spot. Both play good defense, but Rob Morris, their only loss was Wright State. That was February 2nd. That was a revenge spot for Wright State, and they went to Wright State to get that L. But other than that, they haven't lost since January 8th to Cleveland State. So they've been hot. I think they come out here, play a good game. This line feels short too. You're basically just catching home court advantage, or otherwise it's a pick 'em on a neutral. Bob Moore's been playing really good. They force turnovers. They don't turn over the ball. They can rebound. They shoot. They can get to the line. Cleveland State does foul and struggle to rebound on the defensive end, so there could be some extra possessions and free points given away here. I know it's on the road, but Cleveland State is, they've got Youngstown on deck. That was no, they didn't. It was Northern Kentucky's who they lost to. Never mind. But regardless, I've been making money with some Bob Morris lately, and them catching 3.5, it kind of feels like a little short spread here. If Cleveland State was supposed to win, I feel like they'd be laying a little more than this. So I like Bob Morris, but I have not fired on it yet.
I mean, Cleveland State's in first place in the conference.
If it's gonna matter, if Cleveland State is hitting their threes, it's gonna be lights. It's gonna be a Cleveland State day, because that's like the one thing that Robert Morris has struggled against. But if Cleveland State's not shooting, they're not gonna be able to score inside against Bob. So it could be a long day at the office.
Plus, they're in first place in the conference. I keep repeating that's the only thing I know about the team is that they're in first place in the conference.
Bob Morris is 3 games back. So I mean that theoretically they win tomorrow. They'll be 2 games back and they'll split, and then they'll have Fort Wayne, Green Bay, Milwaukee, and IU Indy. Cleveland State's going to have Youngstown, Detroit, Oakland, Wright State, and Fort Wayne. So they'll have the much harder schedule down the stretch here. So this is a big spot for Bob Morris. I mean, if they get the win here, I think it's kind of opened up for the Horizon League. If they don't, I think it's kind of for the most part set in that it'll be Cleveland State. A good chance of it.
If one of those, I will say this, regardless of what chaos happens, the Horizon tournament is one of the tournaments you want to watch when conference tournaments start, because it is just absolute madness all the time.
I was watching it 2 years ago. Somebody swatted a ball off the backboard. It rebounded back, bounced off the dude's head, and went into the fucking bucket. I had the video of it somewhere. Like, that's just Horizon League tournament in a nutshell. It's just madness.
Let's get to a real conference, the Big East. I know this is what's going to happen. Both Toast and Van den Bosch are both about to take Providence at home here. They're going to say things like at the dunk. It's the wrong side. Musketeers are the play. Go ahead. Tell us about the dunk.
Go ahead, Trev.
Well, this game is being played at the dunk, which is always a good spot for Providence here. Xavier, their season kind of really hinged on that Villanova game. Now you got back-to-back road wins. You blew it late against Nova, and they ran it up on you. You just got to keep Dixon in check for another 5 minutes. That's all you had to do was just 5 more minutes of keeping him in check, and you couldn't do that. So they struggled there. Their last 3 home road games, they have not won. They did win at Marquette and DePaul. So congratulations. Other than that, they've gotten smoked on the road.
Why'd you say Marquette like it's a trash team? That's a great win.
No, you can't be playing that shit because DePaul covered against Marquette tonight. Now you're going to be.
Well, I've been
acting
trying to
like
tell
they're an
you
elite
about
team.
this DePaul team. Been trying to tell you.
I don't know what the final score was. I saw it
They
was
lost by
37
10.
all.
Landed on 10.
Well,
Easy
there
cover.
we go.
Sweat free. It was sweat free.
Yeah, it was tied at half. I was like,
2-point
damn.
game at half.
It was also a 25-point game at some point in the second half.
Got out of hand for a few minutes, but DePaul was mostly in control of the game. Start to finish, DePaul was mostly in control of the game.
Love to see it.
Let me guess, Toast is taking Providence in the dunk.
I need more than 1.5 to personally. I will say that I don't think that Providence is playing as bad as what it looks like. I mean, losing to St. John's on the road, losing to Creighton at home, and then the 1-point Butler loss on the road. So I don't really think they're playing that bad. So I do lean Providence at home. I want like a 2.5 personally. So we'll see what this number gets to. But at the current number at 1.5, I probably don't bet Providence, but I do lean that way.
We got a lot of people betting this game in the comments. Nick Johnson's on the over. TWD's on the over. Juice says Musketeers. Love it. Good pick, Juice.
You know what happened? You know why I'm not on the Musketeers is because they always let me down. It seems like they always let me down in the biggest spots. And I agree with Trevor. After that Villanova letdown,
we were on Nova though. Didn't we bet Nova in that game? I think I did.
I'm just saying that Xavier sucks.
I was on X.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I won 5-1 Sunday. I don't give a shit.
Van Summer says Providence easy. None like me. Musketeers. Graben's Providence money line. So yeah, I'm gonna. Here you go, Tinker. Tinker's on Xavier. I like Xavier here. Probably gonna bet this one. I'm gonna declare, as of right now, unless I find a better candidate, Providence fake sharp play of the day.
Oh, but that reminds me. What was the fake sharp play today?
I don't remember.
Cash it.
What was my fake sharp play?
I don't know, but I cashed it. I can't remember.
How do you even say it cash if you don't remember
because
what it was?
I hit every play that had a plus in front of it. That's how I know.
I don't know. I don't know if it hit. Washington, Ohio State. This seems like a big number. I know.
Also, Santa Clara close to tying the game.
Don't say anything. Don't say it. Shh, just stop.
Okay, next game.
Stop. Next game. All right, Washington on the road at Ohio State. Number seems a little big. I know number 0 is an All-American, but
And he's coming
actually
off
they're
an
probably going to beat the hell out of.
All-American
No, Washington's bad. They're probably going to beat the hell out of Washington. They were in a battle with Northwestern that were missing like their 3 best players and like barely won. No, this is Ohio State. This might be the dog walk of the day.
game. Wow.
Washington's bad, dude.
No, I agree. I don't know if I just don't know about a dog walking situation. Yeah, it's the ultimate pass for me. There's no way in hell I'm laying 11 with Ohio State. Washington has been bad, yes, but their away losses aren't that bad. I mean, on the road to UCLA, Michigan State, Michigan,
They
Oregon.
covered that UCLA game.
I mean, they beat Minnesota, which I guess looks somewhat decent, but only by 3. So again, I guess you could put Washington up for me for scorekeeping purposes.
This is going to be a public dog, and this is a dog walking.
But I was going to say there's no way in hell I bet it.
Trev, you understand what I'm saying about the dog walk, right?
Yeah. This is I like Ohio State as a dog better, so them laying double digits is
That's what I'm saying. 11,
kinda
give me
scary.
7, and I'm in.
I mean, Ken Pound does make this 12, so the fact that it's 10 is kind of weird. But, I mean, Ohio State should get it done. Off that road loss to Nebraska, you get Washington at home, who's off of a win, then they hit the road. I mean, they went to Michigan State, got housed. Michigan got housed. Went to Oregon, lost by 11. UCLA, they lost by 11. Nevada, they lost by 10. So, I mean, like, they did win to Minnesota. So, I mean, other than that, you're basically betting on are they going to either win or keep this trend up of just losing by double digits on the road. I would kind of lean that way. I feel like it's telling you that Ohio State's going to wreck them. And, I mean, they do have guys down low that can bang with Osabar, too. So, I like Ohio State. Not necessarily going to bet this, though. Laying double digits with Diebler and company doesn't seem like a great idea, but...
Well, Two Legits in the comments, he thinks it's a great idea. He says Buckeyes for life. Juice says UW off the win. No. Heems on Ohio State.
The only thing that's holding me off of Ohio State is that I don't know if Parrish and Mobley, aka Michael Jordan, as Kyle likes to call him, can replicate what they did against Nebraska. I mean, what did those guys shoot 50% from deep? I mean, they literally couldn't miss. Parrish had another fantastic game as well. So that's what I meant to say. Parrish and Mobley, excuse me. So I just don't know if they can replicate it. We'll see.
Yeah, he had a 30-piece at Nebraska, and they still lost.
I know.
0?
Yeah. No, that was Paris. 0 had 21. He went 5 from 10 from deep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If 0's feeling it, he makes his teammates better around him. So ultimate playmaker across the board. Cal on the road. Why did I put Cal at Cameron here? We don't have to talk about this one.
This is easy.
What's easy? What are you thinking?
Oh, Duke by a million off the loss. You got Cal traveling cross country. This is going to be the most popular play of the day tomorrow, hands down.
They'll be still cash with 10 points a clip.
They'll win by 37.
Yeah.
They'll win by 37. Okay. Do I have Duke graphics? I don't even think I have Duke graphics up. So you guys like Duke to win big?
Yep.
Yeah.
Duke off a loss. It's very, very simple.
And at home, and you get a team traveling cross country. Has Cal made the trip over here yet?
They went to NC State, so yeah.
Okay.
Really? I kind of like Cal.
Yeah, they went to NC State and North Carolina. They did beat NC State, though. That's kind of funny.
Another kind of a shitty one here. After this, we have 2 decent ones to finish off. Arizona State on the road in Lubbock. Texas Tech laying 15.5.
Texas Tech by 50.
Yeah.
If Arizona State isn't healthy, and we won't probably know till tomorrow, but we just saw them get absolutely obliterated by Oklahoma State after playing Kansas State very, very close. There's a reason to that. So we're going to have to see the injury report and a disciplinary report as well for Arizona State. So there's a lot of things going on in that Arizona State locker room, like there always is or always seems to be. And you have a Texas Tech team off of a Arizona loss where it kind of could have went either way. I like Texas Tech here by a lot.
Trev, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. But it all depends on if BJ Freeman or Adam Miller play. I mean, those two both missed, and they're huge parts of this team. So, especially BJ Freeman. I mean, he takes 27.5% of their shots when he's on the floor. So, I mean, he's the guy. So, without him, this could be trouble. If he plays, maybe a slight lean to Arizona State, given the huge number, but feels gigantic for a reason that they won't play or one won't play, and that Texas Tech is just going to run roughshod on them.
You can wait till tomorrow when it gets officially announced and see what the number does, or you can do it now. But I don't think it's going to matter, to be dead honest with you.
Yeah.
All right. I know you guys. I know you guys both like this team because you both took them against Texas A&M, and I bet Texas A&M. I got to win on you guys in this one. I don't think Missouri's that good, and I think 8.5 is crazy.
Did I bet Missouri or did I?
Well, I don't know if you guys actually bet it. You took it on the show. I don't know if it was actually one of your.
Yeah, no. Missouri's treated me very well. The big difference in that Texas A&M game is that they were kind of like Texas. They were laying points and not getting them. It's a completely different situation. So I'm gonna kind of hold true to that. I lean Oklahoma here. Oklahoma coming off of losses against Texas A&M. They absolutely slaughter Vanderbilt. Then they lose, get slaughtered by Auburn, and then they get slaughtered by Tennessee. I just think this is a significantly step down in class for Oklahoma, who. They're pretty bad, but I think that with a guy like Jeremy Fears, I think that he can handle the workload against a guy like Mark Mitchell and whatnot. So I think that this is just too many points for me. I don't know if I end up actually betting it, but there's no way in hell I'm laying 8.5 with Missouri.
Juice likes the over 151.5 in this one. Trev,
I can see that.
I like Missouri in this one.
Come on,
bounce
dude.
back. They just lost. I mean, Oklahoma's coming off of Auburn and Tennessee. Those two teams defensively beat the ever-living shit out of you. Now you're going to go travel to Missouri. I mean, Missouri's not a bad team. They just came off of losses to Tennessee and A&M. Like, those aren't bad losses at all. I mean, at home, they've beaten Ole Miss. They've beaten Arkansas. They've beaten Vanderbilt, LSU, Alabama State. So, I mean, I guess it's whatever. They do have a Kansas win on there, too. But Oklahoma just on the road is not good. I mean, slaughtered to Auburn. A&M got the best of them. They did beat Arkansas. They did come back in that game, though. But Georgia, they lost by double digits. And then Alabama, they got sliced up by fucking 30. So, I mean, like, on the road, they're entirely different. Porter Moser's a joke. I want no part of that man or betting on him at all. So, I like Missouri here. Not sure if I'll bet it, but I think it's a good spot for Missouri to run it up on someone, especially coming off the Auburn and Tennessee games.
I still might bet it. My thoughts on that one were I'm taking Oklahoma if you guys co-sign it. And
I just want to.
Toast didn't even like it. He was like, I lean Oklahoma.
Yeah, I want to, because Trevor mentioned it, they haven't been great on the road, and at the same time, I just want to see Missouri as a favorite win a basketball game like that when they're supposed to, I guess.
This next line is just downright disrespectful. The Hogs laying 8.5 to the feistiest team in the conference. Not the most talented team, but by far the feistiest. You can never count this team out of a basketball game. Came through, covered for me on Saturday. Trev, you were with me. On LSU.
Yeah, I told you it was the LSU
that's
spot.
Right. That's right.
You know why it was their spot? Because they were at home.
Yeah, but defense travels. Defense travels. Feistiness also travels.
What defense?
It's a good question. But Arkansas, man, 8.5. You like Arkansas that much?
Should I say the line? I'm not going to say the line.
Give me the
Hogs up.
That was a wild line.
Dude, I never forgive my brain for that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no, Arkansas, man. Come on. They're at home. They just dropped a game. They should have came back and won
They just
that
dropped the
game.
game because they're not good.
They dropped it. They
played
lost
Bama and
They
they
lost
came
to
back.
Alabama by 4.
Yeah, so you guys are drinking the shit out of that Kool-Aid. One
Oh,
win,
perfect.
delicious.
Yeah.
one win in Rupp, and you guys are just like, oh, Arkansas, yeah, best
No.
team.
On top of that, a road win in Texas is too as a dog as well. Thank you.
Georgia. They blew that Oklahoma game, which I called too. I've had my pulse on Arkansas here for a minute.
This is Trevor's team right here. He is the Arkansas Whisperer. I don't even understand why we're arguing at this point.
Shout out John L. Davis. Love that man. Dude, whoever gets him in the NBA, you're going to be very happy. He's a great player. Hogs up tomorrow. This is the spot. They're going to run him out the gym. LSU sucks on the road. Let's go over. Georgia, a 19-point loss. 7 to Bama somehow. A&M, they lost by 11. Mississippi, 22. And then Missouri was a 16-point loss in conference play. So they hit the road. They do not do well whatsoever. They just had a major get-up spot, and their hearts ripped out after that Mississippi blown lead. I think they were up 11 with, 3 minutes left, and they blew that. They did get a little robbed on that last call. That was a moving screen that they didn't get called for, but I'm glad I covered, and they're not winning tomorrow. They're not going to cover. Hogs up. They're going to win this game by 13.
Your graphics wrong there, Kyle. LSU is now 10.5-point dogs.
Shit. Really?
I know.
Beautiful.
Fuck.
He said beautiful. He changes it right away.
Fuck.
Beautiful. Fake sharps are driving the number up.
I was going to do – you know why I did that, Trevor? Because I was just about to do Arkansas, Rutgers, moneyline parlay, and I was going to pay – I was good to pay like $130 for it. And it's 163. 152 is the cheapest.
Shit.
I'm on LSU. I don't know if I actually bet it, but I pick LSU. Oh, we're pulling at 70% Arkansas. The entire.
I would agree at 11 or whatever the number is going to be. It kind of changes things a little bit differently.
A little bit, yeah. But if you're going to get single digits, like an 8.5,
Santa Clara
9.5.
Santa Clara is scaring me right now.
Nah, man, believe.
They're down
Come on,
9,
boys.
2 minutes left.
Yep, they're about to cook. Yep.
Fucking Oregon, these piece of shit.
They're not covering Oregon?
Not anymore.
11-3 run for Northwestern.
Now only up by 8.
Keep the faith, guys. Claire's going to get this done. I'm going to be pissed when they lose by fucking 10. And I didn't buy more.
Honestly, as long I have a decent amount on my little 3-teamer, and so as long as Oregon wins, I can eat the other side of it. Did we already talk about this game?
No, I'm going through. I'm going to put a poll up for what the
okay.
community's favorite bet is.
Oh, okay.
They like St. John's a lot. They like Xavier a lot. That's another one they liked. So I'm just scrolling.
Fading
through.
the dunk is crazy work.
We get it. You guys love the dunk. I know. Noted. They
Because
like
it pays out.
Duke minus 23.5 is one they liked. And then we'll put in Arkansas because they loved Arkansas a lot. So that was, in my opinion, the 4 polls that were pretty decisive. So what is the community's favorite bet here? And then we'll call it.
Georgia Tech.
I was gonna say.
I think they actually did vote for Georgia Tech. I think they actually.
Dude, the line makes no sense. Somebody is going to be out in that game.
Yeah, I mean, the people that are watching this at this time are mostly like this is mostly the more experienced sports bettors. Like not going to get many casuals up at 1 a.m. watching lines for tomorrow's lines. It's just.
Yeah. There's NBA tomorrow. They got to worry about that.
Hey, Trevor, are you actually going to bet South Carolina?
I'm debating it. I think it'll move, though. I
Yeah,
feel like they kind of caught on that they play good at home, and they've just cut this line a little bit.
I was just kind of curious because I do like Ole Miss. I was going to use them in the money line parlay. I think
I'll tell you
that
this. I wouldn't
Louisville
bet
line
Ole Miss,
scares the shit out of me. That's what scares me.
personally.
So the community's favorite bet is St. John's
Money line.
2.5. Thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully Santa Clara covers for us. I got an NBA video to get out myself, so let me run. Got some work to do. See you guys all tomorrow. Toast, are you back home now?
Oh yeah, we're good, 100%.
All right, cool. So see everyone tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday. Trevor, you guys doing the Friday night show again?
Yep. Every week we'll be doing it.
All right, cool. So, see you.